If you are standing on business this season, if you're really about standing on that business for Palestine and Congo, we have got to destroy the diamond industry.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
And if that's the case, maybe it's about time the world doesn't give a shit about the 6 million slaughtered by Hitler's Germany.
Israel's defense budget isn't being cut by sanctions. It's being dismantled by Chinese lab-grown diamonds. This is about market disruption and a quiet financial unraveling with real geopolitical consequences. Let's start with a fact most people ignore. Israel's diamond industry isn't just about jewelry. It's a strategic financial asset. In 2016, polished diamonds accounted for 23.2% of Israel's total exports, its single largest export category. By 2022, polished diamond exports still reached $9.16 billion. And here's the key. A significant portion of that revenue flows directly into Israel's defense apparatus. The diamond sector contributes around $1 billion annually to Israel's defense ministry. That's not loose change. That's fighter jets, missiles, and surveillance systems funded by a global appetite for sparkle. But that pipeline is now under threat. Not from boycotts, not from diplomacy, from a lab in Henan province.
If you are standing on business this season, if you're really about standing on that business for Palestine and Congo, we have got to destroy the diamond industry. Period. First off, they're not even a precious gem. And the only reason they're popularized is because of advertising. Israel is the largest diamond exchange exporter, and the sale of diamonds directly funds its economy. Israel is directly behind the destabilization of Congo so that it can extract its resources. The public has been duped into believing that diamonds are actually like a precious gem when they're not. They're literally just held up in mines so that there are less of them. But we've been duped so that we spend our money on these things so that this country can continue G-siding everywhere. If you don't believe me, even royals don't use diamonds as engagement rings because they're not precious.
While the West debated blood diamonds and ethical sourcing, China built a synthetic diamond empire. Today, China produces half of the world's lab-grown diamonds, with 80% of that output coming from Henan alone. How? Through high-temperature, high-pressure technology. Cheaper, faster, and scalable. It's not about perfection. It's about volume and cost. The result? Wholesale natural diamond prices have crashed 40% since 2022. Retail prices for natural stones are down 26% in 2 years. And lab-grown diamonds? They cost up to 90% less than mined ones. A 2-carat synthetic costs around $3,500. The same natural stone, $35,000. This is what you call market displacement.
Did you know that Chinese consumers basically crashed the diamond market? And what I really mean is the lab-grown diamond market. And there was a recent piece from NPR where they were able to purchase a 1-carat diamond, or at least lab-grown diamond, for roughly $137. And through their testing, they were able to confirm that what they bought from Alibaba was 100% real. And for those of you guys who have not been hunting for a diamond ring recently, I want to show you guys my experience. And I was able to snatch this 3-carat lab-grown diamond for roughly $5,000, which I thought was a pretty good price. But if you go online, it looks like you can purchase this 3-carat diamond for as low as $300.
And let's be clear, this isn't just about price. It's about change in demand. Millennials and Gen Z aren't buying the diamonds are forever myth. They want value, transparency, and sustainability. And lab-grown diamonds deliver. They're chemically identical to mined diamonds. No conflict zones, no ethical ambiguity, just sparkle at a rational price. De Beers tried to fight back with its own lab-grown line, Lightbox, but priced it so low it admitted synthetic diamonds aren't luxury items anymore. Now they're focusing on industrial applications, not engagement rings. The message is clear. The era of natural diamond dominance is over, and the primary beneficiary? China.
So we know a lot of Israeli industries have been tanking, but what about the diamond industry? That's implicated in a lot of disgusting world conflicts. Well, maybe you'd be happy to know that the Israeli diamond industry is facing a decline. Israeli diamond exports have decreased by 48% compared to the previous year. So the diamond industry accounts for 12.3% of the country's total exports, which contributes $1 billion to Israel's defense ministry. So the diamond industry is a huge player in funding the IOF.
Now let's connect the dots. Israel's diamond industry was built on high-margin, high-value polished stones, but with prices collapsing, profit margins have evaporated. The result? Bank financing for Israel's diamond sector has plummeted to $508 million in 2024, down 77% from its 2008 peak. Banks are pulling out. Polishing operations are relocating to lower-cost hubs, and Israel has failed to pivot to lab-grown production at scale. And I don't think this is a temporary dip. This is a structural collapse of a once dominant industry, and with it, a $1 billion annual funding stream for Israel's military is now under pressure. So let's address the real point. Yes, this weakens Israel's ability to sustain prolonged military operations. The Gaza campaign, like any war, is expensive. Aircraft, munitions, drones, surveillance, all funded by the state. And a significant chunk of that state revenue came from diamonds. That revenue is now shrinking. And while Israel still has US military aid, which is around $3.3 billion annually, domestic funding sources matter, especially when foreign aid faces political headwinds. China didn't set out to sanction Israel, but by dominating the synthetic diamond market, it has achieved something remarkable, an economic counterweight to Israeli military financing without firing a shot. This is industrial policy as soft power, and it's working. In the past, wars were funded by colonies, oil, or taxation. Today, they can be undermined by a shifting consumer preference, triggered by industrial overcapacity in a Chinese province. China didn't need a political agenda. It just needed efficiency, scale, and timing. And Israel? It failed to adapt. It stayed in high-cost polishing while the world moved on to synthetics. It relied on a fading luxury narrative while China delivered functional, affordable alternatives. This is what economic disruption looks like. Not with protests, not with sanctions, but with a 90% price cut on a 2-carat stone.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
And there you have it. This Israeli woman doesn't give a shit about the slaughter of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza. And if that's the case, maybe it's about time the world doesn't give a shit about the 6 million slaughtered by Hitler's Germany.
So the next time you hear about the diamond lobby or geopolitical funding streams, ask yourself, who controls the supply chain? Who sets the price? Who wins when the market shifts? China didn't set out to weaken Israel's war machine, but by making diamonds cheap, it did. That's industrial reality. If this changed your understanding of modern power, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Can a nation's military be undone by a lab-grown rock? Because right now, the data says yes.